Hey guys, how's it going? You'll notice that the window looks a little bit different than it normally does, and that is because I'm having some technical issues. I'm gonna get those figured out, but in the meantime, I can pull up your guys' chat independently of that, so whatever you say, I still can see it, I promise. Okay? Okay, info on the Hindu Kush. Hindu Kush is really simple. Let me show you. It's actually pretty straightforward in terms of like all the different mountain ranges that you could possibly know in the world. It is pretty darn straightforward. Maps. Show you guys my screen. Okay, so let me get it on Earth here so we can see just a little bit better. Okay, so John, over here. Okay, so here's India, right? Let me get this in 3D so you can see just even better. Okay, so in India here, okay, oops, sorry, too far. Okay, in India here, we've got the Himalayas, right, that are up to the north. Okay, and then Mount Everest is kind of in this area. All right, and then over here, you've got a little bit of a smaller mountain range, and that is the Hindu Kush. Okay, and I believe it is right here. I may be wrong with that. Maybe I'm too far. But yes, so this whole mountain range, and again, I'll kind of zoom out so you can see it even better. Um, all this right here is the Hindu Kush. Okay. So, yes, indeed, that one's pretty straightforward. What? Oh, yeah. So while you guys are asking questions, I'm gonna see if I can get things to look how they normally should look. That's my goal. Mm-hmm. I know. Isn't that awesome? I am super pumped about that actually. So go ahead and start asking, guys. You know, Again, the reason why I'm here is to help you, and if you do not ask anything, I cannot help you. Considering that many of your finals be tomorrow, that is something that you are going to want to make sure you do. Okay, well, I just did the Hindu Kush unless you didn't hear me explain it. So it's the mountains that are in Pakistan. That one's pretty straightforward. Um, Difference between Neolithic and Paleolithic. That's also pretty easy to explain. So Paleolithic comes first, okay? And it's like the paleo diet where you don't eat anything that is like manufactured. So Paleolithic means that there's no farming. And then after there's the Neolithic Revolution, there's farming. And both of those are still a part of prehistory. That one's pretty straightforward. Is that you? Hmm. Hey John, before I answer your question, are you able to hear me? Yes or no? Okay. So, difference between Paleolithic and Neolithic is that one has farming, one doesn't. Neolithic does have farming. Got it? No, it's fine. I can see how they can get confusing. Just you need to make sure you come up with a way that you're able to tell, um, the difference between those two things. Like, so come up with a way that you can memorize the difference between the two. What do you want to know about the Mayans? There's lots of things we could discuss about them. I believe that was call. Yeah, he's just going after things. So, is there anything generally about the Mayans you wanted to discuss, John, or is there something in particular? They are quite diverse. Like where they located? They're located on the Yucatan Peninsula. Okay, so that's like in real. If you go to like the very very southern part of Mexico, and then it's the peninsula that sticks out into um, the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, and how they become a civilization? Well, they're not really ever a civilization. They're just kind of a group of people that we give a name to. We just call them the Mayans. They were a bunch of little city states. How they became like in that area, how they got to that area was through that land bridge. That's one theory, and then the other theory is that there were the boats um, that took people from the Polynesians over to elsewhere. What about their social classes and religion? Sure. So the Mayan social classes, as far as we know, because we really can't read their writing system, we think that they had kind of like like some sort of a hierarchical social system. So likely with some kind of like male ruler on top, a group of like nobles and priests kind of below them, and then probably like peasant farmers or like merchants kind of like near the bottom. So kind of like a typical kind of like social hierarchy that we see in other places. In terms of the religion, that's something we don't really know anything at all about. And again, the reason why is because we can't read their writing, which makes understanding religious beliefs like really, really difficult. The thing we do know though is that like they did have some sort of a calendar that in some cases did have to do with certain ceremonies that they practiced. But again, like we can only really get that because like the calendar is like something hard and physical that we actually can do things with. We just aren't able to read the Mayans' writing, which always makes history difficult when you can't read things. Yeah, you know, if you can't read that is a bit of an issue. Okay, can you explain the Virginia plan versus the New Jersey plan? Sure. 1 second. Get right into that. Just want to make sure everything's good over here. Okay. 1 second. So, Virginia plan versus the New Jersey plan. This one's pretty straightforward, Ted. Get right into that. Really, it's that there's two different plans going into like when the Constitutional Convention's called, and that's in Virginia plan versus the New Jersey plan. This one's pretty straightforward, Ted. Get right into that. The Virginia plan favors there's two different plans going into very similar to like when the Constitutional Convention's called, and that's and then the Virginia plan favors New Jersey kind of like the this one's pretty straightforward, Ted. And the Virginia plan favors there's large plans going into very similar to the Senate that we have in Congress right now. How else it worked is that the delegates and then the Virginia plan favors New Jersey kind of like the this one's pretty straightforward, Ted. And the Virginia plan favors there's large plans. How about the Aztecs? I know very general knowledge, but anyway, how else it worked is that the delegates and then the Virginia plan favors I mean, we can go into more specifics about the Aztecs in terms of the really is that there's large plans going Aztecs, how very general knowledge, but anyway, how else organized that and then I mean, we can go into more specifics unless you want to unless there's a really specific large plans going Aztecs, how very general knowledge, but anyway, they do have a lot of organized I mean, we can go into more unless you want to unless there's a really specific large plans going Aztecs, how very general knowledge, but anyway, they do have a lot of audio I mean, we can go into more unless you want to unless there's a really specific. Oh my gosh, I hear it. Okay, 1 second. I got this. Okay. Let's see if that's better. Let me know. Plans, how the Aztecs, how very general. Gosh, it's crazy. Plans, how the Aztecs, how very general. Gosh, it's crazy. Is that better? Okay. Sorry guys, my technology is having a lot of issues tonight. It's very, very frustrating. So anywho, so the Aztecs, I mean, yeah, we can talk about specifics with them. The Aztecs are kind of similar to other tribes that are in the area. So, they, the Aztec really, the Aztecs really are concentrated in that area of New Mexico that you may have heard something about, Mexico City, Tenochtitlan. Let's see, they have a hierarchical social religion, so that's, again, common to other tribes. Let's see, what else about them? We can read their writing. In fact, we do have a couple of Aztec books that are left over, and those are really interesting. I've read them. Yeah, it just kind of depends on what you want to talk about with the Aztecs. They are definitely like a more like, and they are an interesting people. So, the New Jersey and Virginia plan. Ted, did you hear me explain that, or did my audio go insane beforehand? The Incas. Um, Incas are pretty straightforward. Again, like it's all kind of about how they're influenced by geography and how they're going to link their empire together. And if you really understand those two things, then you kind of understand the Incas. So they have like an immense geographic challenge because they have to deal with the Andes Mountains. So they build roads, they invent terrace farming, anything they can to unify their empire when you've got mountains that are preventing that from happening. And they do develop like ways of tracking data and numbers, even though they never had a written language. They had the Quipu, Quipu, which were the knotted colored strings. But again, like their social hierarchy is pretty similar to the others. The only main difference is that Sapa Inca, the emperor, is considered to be the son of the sun god, which is kind of a little bit different than the Aztecs and the Mayans. And remember, you had the labor system of Mita, right, where everybody has to periodically donate their labor, which again is a little bit different than um, the Mayans or the Aztecs, where everything is really, really class based. Actually, the Inca were that way too, but that's okay. Hmm? I know. He's hanging out over my shoulder. No, no, other. There you go. Hi. Yes. Huh? Yes, you're purring now. I hear you. It depends on what people want, John. Um, oh, okay, Ted. Yeah, I'll go back and re-explain that. So yeah, it depends on what people want, buddy. If people want to take the final, the first half, and then kind of relax and study the second half of it, we can do that. If they want to, do it vice versa, that's fine too. So, so we'll have to kind of decide when we get in there. Uh, and okay, what did I say beforehand? Okay, so the Virginia plan and the New Jersey plan, Ted, are pretty straightforward. Um, and the reason why I say that is because like you can remember like which one goes with which one, because Virginia was a big state and New Jersey was a small state. So whatever like based on that, they um, they kind of favor that that particular side. So the New Jersey plan is basically if you know what the Articles of Confederation were, which is like there's a Confederation Congress, each state has two members that it sends, and then any like all decisions have to be unanimous, and there's no president, yada yada yada. It depends on consensus for you to change all the articles. Um, that uh, that is basically the New Jersey plan, but you stick a president on top of it. Okay. Uh, the Virginia plan is really, really similar to what we have in the United States today, except all the proportion in both the House and the Senate was determined by representation of your population. Excuse me. So your representation in Congress depended on how many people you had in your particular state, which is the way the House of Representatives is. Okay. Then eventually those two plans get put together, and then so the Senate adopts the New Jersey plan, so that's why we have two senators from each state.
New subscriber detected.
All right, so guys, unless you have any more questions, I'm gonna probably hop off here in the next few minutes. And again, I apologize for getting on late, just how things worked out today. And I also need to spend um, quite a bit of time trying to get this to fix itself. So. I'm not exactly sure that's what I need to do to make that happen. How many multiple choice are on the final? It's 65 multiple choice, Josiah. Um, so no kind of like short answer or anything like that. And again, I'll go back and double check all the questions to make sure that's not the case, but I'm pretty certain. I'll probably go and double check tomorrow just to really again ensure that will not be the case. On Unit 3 is huge, man. Um, about the Great Awakening. The quick version of it is, um, well, basically that's, let's see here. So the Great Awakening is more about the heart, and it was a response to the Enlightenment and the Scientific Revolution, which was more about the mind. So the Great Awakening is all about that. There's some things in life you just gotta feel. You just know them innately. You don't need to. You can't really. What's the kind of word that I'm thinking of? Like you can't just like rational. Like you can't ration things. Through like reasoning and logic. You just have to like have faith. Is kind of the idea. Refresher on the cataclysmic Civil War. What part of the Civil War? And Josiah, we'll make this our last question on here. Just because I will eventually need to get to bed here. Cataclysmic Civil War. Is there any part in particular, like causes or like main events, or what about those kind of things? Tissue. So T is um, tariff. Let's see here. 1 second. So T is tariffs. Okay. I, okay, is industry versus agriculture. S is states' rights versus federal rights. The other S is the expansion of slavery. U is Uncle Tom's Cabin and other abolitionist works. And then E is the election of Abraham Lincoln. So those were the 6 causes of the Civil War. But what about the Civil War? Did you, besides the causes, is there like, something in there that you're confused about? Just because, it is a gigantic topic and I will need a little bit more information. Oh, what was victory from each person's standpoint? So victory for the South is being able to preserve slavery and that you can become your own nation. All you have to do is tie, or you get foreign recognition. For the North, you've got to totally defeat the South if you're going to bring them back into the Union, which means that you have to literally go there and do it. And then again, that changes in 1863 to we're also going to get rid of slavery and we're going to liberate slaves. And so again, how you have to do that is you have to radically transform the South. So that means you have to totally defeat them. That's kind of the gist of it. Sound good, buddy? I mean, unless you got another question, I'm probably gonna hop off here. I really want to get this technology issue figured out, and then get some sleep. Civil War is my favorite thing in history, though, by far. By far, 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 far. So sound good, buddy? Um, I mean, yeah. If you want to stop by tomorrow, we can talk, more about specifics of this award. It's a gigantic event, and it is really, really important. Um, so yeah, just hit me up, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? So have a phenomenal evening. Yeah, and peace out.